All right. Hey, Charlie. How are you? Doing
Yeah,
well?
really good. Cheers. Thank you.
Good, good. For all
So,
of you that are watching this is Charlie, and he is part owner and founder of Bristol Chiropractic Center. Is that the right way to say it?
the Chiropractic Centre of Bristol. Yeah. Yeah.
Chiropractic Center of Bristol. And they run this really cool chiropractic center. Like it's in that just, as an American, it's that quintessential little street with the little flat buildings and this old building, and you just walk in and it's all been redone. It's just super, super cool. Like if I was there, I would go see you. It's that kind of place. It's awesome. And it's really cool is that these guys for years, I don't, has it been 5, 6 years? How many years have
Eight
you
years
been?
now. 8 years.
Eight years they have
Yeah.
been giving to Cherish. And it's cool how they do it. They do it by basically start off with, for every patient we see, we're going to give a British pound to Cherish.
Yeah.
And they've been doing that for 8 years. And it's just a really unique way to give because it engages their business into what we do, and it radically impacts the work that we do because of that resource. So I just thought it'd be great for whoever's watching just to ask you a few questions and just kind of see what the rest of us can learn from what you do. If that's cool.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
So tell us how does doing this, how does giving to Cherish benefit your business?
How does it benefit? So obviously for us as business owners, it's a feel good factor. You know, we're creating a business, and it's nice for us to benefit as business owners, which is the purpose of a business. But more importantly, it's also nice to benefit those around us and feel like we're having more of an impact than we are just purely where we are locally with what we're doing. So I guess that's the nuts and bolts of where we came from, and I can go through in a bit more detail about where we came up with the idea. But we just love the whole concept of helping people in the local community, but having an impact elsewhere in the world through that, you know, having more of a global impact. And from a business point of view as well, there's the hard fact that patients who come to see us love the fact of what we do. You know, we have a whole wall with pictures of Cherish and a bit about what we do and our giving aspect. And, you know, every time a new patient comes into the building, we give them a tour of the building and talk them through what services we offer. But one of the key aspects of that is our donation that we do to Cherish Uganda alongside that. And we do also, we obviously got it on the website as well. We get a lot of patients come in who are like, oh, I saw the website. And Bristol's quite a highly populated city of chiropractors. It's pretty dense. And we do get quite a few people come in who are like, oh, I read on the website what you do with Uganda, and they might have a connection there or just connect with it in a different way. And sometimes it's that thing that stands us apart from the crowd. And people really like that, I think.
Yeah, that's cool. And so that's a bit about the response of the customers. What about your employees? What's their response when they find out, oh, I work for a place that gives some of our profit away?
Yeah. I think they love it. I think they love it. And it's, and I think, you know, the times that we've met you guys and your predecessors as well has been massively impactful. And I think it just gives them a sense of pride in what they're doing. Again, that they're doing something bigger than just a job. You know, we're a clinic, so we are helping people day in, day out. And there's a huge amount of, you know, good feeling that comes with that and seeing people get better, but knowing that that's having a greater reach. Yeah, the team love it. The team really great. Awesome. And, you know, and they're the ones who talk about it to the patients. They're the ones who kind of built the wall with the pictures as well. So they're actively involved with it as well. Just need to get them out there now next.
We're hoping that'll happen. It'd be awesome. Yeah. So go back 8 years. Why did you start this in the first place? Yeah, and why did you pick Cherish, and how did that come about?
So we were thinking about opening up a clinic, and we just wanted to do something. You know, we'd read about other places donating, and it was something that just naturally it's an altruistic act, and it just has a lovely feel about it. And I think it spoke very true to Matt, my business partner, and my values of who we were and what we wanted to achieve. And it was actually just a couple of months before we opened, my business partner read a book called Blake McCloskey, I think his name is, the guy who owns Tom's Shoes. So the little espadrilles, they're quite popular here in the UK. And every time someone buys a pair, they donate a pair of shoes to someone in the world who hasn't got access to shoes. And just reading the whole story and how it works and the benefit of that. And whenever I used to own a pair of those shoes, and whenever I bought a pair, there was a real, it was a nice thing knowing you're buying something, and you wouldn't mind spending a little bit extra because you know that that's also having a positive impact onto someone else elsewhere in the world. So that's kind of what triggered the idea. Why Cherish? Again, we just started looking at some charities. Again, we wanted to have an impact elsewhere in the world. We were just kind of scanning through some charities, and my business partner found about 3 or 4. And we looked through them, and for both of us really, Cherish stood out for different reasons. Kind of the HIV aspect, I kind of like the Christian approach and aspect as well. Love the fact that as a charity you didn't kind of promote to the kids that were there that it was a charity, that they kind of they're kind of brought up in a way that they're not nurtured into a life of charity, they're nurtured into a life of independence, but through a charity, if that makes sense. And I think that was one of the things that's rung true for us. But the real magic of it is that we didn't know anything about Cherish, apart from the website. We had all these other companies. It's just one that stood out. And the thing that really solidified what we were doing is this might be a breach of confidentiality, won't mind at all though. We had a patient when we were working in Essex, in a small town there, and we started talking to her. And
she would be fine. She would be fine to tell you her name, and I'll go ahead and tell your name so you don't get in trouble. Her name is Bev Merle.
Exactly. So yeah. Bev was seeing us as a patient, and she actually saw both me and Matt. And anyway, one day Matt was telling her just about our business plans, and we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and we're going to link up with a charity. And we looked at a couple of charities, and we're thinking about doing this one called Cherish Uganda. And she starts laughing, and we're like, "Why are you laughing? That's not a funny thing." And she was like, do you know? And she basically just told us there, and then I set that charity up. It was like,
yeah,
what? A charity in, an Australian lady living in a small town in Essex set up this random charity we picked in Africa of all the charities in the world. It was just like, okay, right, the penny drops. Yeah. You can't really ignore something like that. That's no small coincidence.
No.
You could say you believe in coincidences, but that's a pretty huge one.
Yeah,
so we didn't even know set up charities. So yeah, at that point then, and that created an emotional connection for us, which obviously was, for us is a strong why as to why, not only why we do it, but why we picked Cherish. And then through Bev, we got introduced to Rachel, and then through Rachel to you. And, the journey's continued and deepened. And as I said, really, the only thing I'm sad about is that we've never been out there, because that's really where the real connection, the connection will come. And that's purely because running a business and getting it off the ground, it requires a lot of work. And both Matt and I want to go together, and for both of us to step away for a period of time hasn't been easy. But we're getting now to the stage where actually, if it wasn't for COVID, I think we'll be there this year.
Yeah,
so yeah,
sure.
All this cleared up, I think we're gonna be there. My little boy needs to be. Live calls, live.
We all need it.
Human nature.
What would you say to a business that doesn't do any sort of, what they call corporate social responsibility? For a business owner who doesn't do it, who's thinking, should I or shouldn't I? Or maybe even just thinking about it as he watches this video, what would you say to them?
I think there's lots of little facets that work really nicely towards it, and some are emotional and some are logical. I think, as I mentioned a few times, the feel-good factor about doing it. I think there's a nice feeling that actually, sometimes there's a bit of guilt as a business owner as you get more successful. But actually, there's a real nice thing, like the more successful you're becoming, the more you're giving to charity, the more you're helping and benefiting other people. And that's a real nice feeling that, it gives you a kind of a nice side to being successful, if that makes sense. There's also, but a less of a greedy side, and sometimes that can be attached to that. So it's like the better you do, the better other people are doing, not just yourself.
Right.
So that's a big one. I think it helps you stand out from the competition. As I said, we do get lots of patients say that they have come in and they've connected with what we're doing. Sometimes they don't know, and it's a turning point where they go, oh wow, like this company is not just about money or profit. Actually, they're doing something different. It makes you stand out in that way, and people connect with you. I think, you know, in business, you want to connect with the customers as much as possible. You want to build a bond, and I think it's another very strong way to do that. And I think it's very impactful. And yeah, I think it, as I said, it spoke to Matt and I doing this to our values. It was high on our value list of who we were as people. And at the end of the day, your business is a reflection of you as a person. So if it's high on your value list and you want to help things, you know, a lot of people give to charity personally, whereas I do it through my business. You know, I do give a bit personally, but I want it to go through my business, and that helps. That it means I can give more as a business, but it also means it helps the business as well. You know, there's a positive aspect to it as well. It does help you grow, and it helps your image, I guess. But you know, but that's not necessarily the reason. The main reason we do it is the high on who we are as people, and we want to celebrate that, and we want to have an impact across the world. So, yeah.
And just to speak a bit to your commitment to that, you know, when you know the real kind of COVID stuff hit and businesses had to shut down, and you know, you guys weren't able to give for a few months there because there was no income, you know, and then we talked, and you said, you know what, we're going back online, and we want to make sure we pay for the months we missed. Like, that's remarkable. Like the commitment level that you guys have to us as a charity partner is really, really awesome and encouraging to our team. So it's just really great. So if you're anywhere near Bristol and you're watching this, you need to go to this clinic because it is awesome. When I was out there, I mean, I've been out there, I don't know, 2 or 3 times, and we shut down for lunch and went to some pub across the street and had lunch with this team. Like, such a good team of people, like really, really awesome people. So yeah, so if you are anywhere near Bristol, go. It's worth the drive, even if you're far, for sure.
When you come see us, you're helping Cherish as well.
That's right. All right, well, thanks, Charlie. Thanks for your time today. Appreciate it.
No, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
See ya. Bye-bye.